Okay, um, I'm on my way to be seeing Superman today. I'm really excited for it, and yeah, I just thought I'd pull a little, joking prank. I heart Daddy Zaki. Hashtag restore the liquid verse. Repping my boy Liquid Sludge. You can see my thumb. Me. Restore my verse, James Gunn. Fuck you. I'm kidding. I'm really excited to see the movie.
Superman out of like 3 hours out of cinema reaction. I don't know, bro. This is boring here. I fucking loved it. I had a great time. Not perfect, but I wouldn't give it like below a 6, in my opinion. It is certainly not below a 6. I had so much fun with this movie when watching it. At some points there was like predictable things with certain stuff that happens, but it was good. It was good. It's an enjoyable time. I feel like if you watch it, and like for all ages, it's enjoyable. Because I'd argue some moments in the movie were probably, I guess, a bit darker than stuff they even had in like Man of Steel. Like that movie specifically, I know they kind of went off the fucking deep end at the end of it. Yeah, but this is just a quick out of cinema economic review. A lot of the comedy hits for me, some of it doesn't. It's It. It's right. Yeah, sometimes gets overbearing. Sometimes crypto for me gets a little bit irritating, but I can deal with that, I guess. It's only some things. It brings down the movie like a little. I feel like there's also some stuff that doesn't really like explain as much as it should be. But I also think that I'm focusing on like the negatives a bit too much, man. I fucking loved it. This Superman suit. I like the one time I talked about this movie was like me shitting on the suit because I don't like it. I like it now. Actually, you know what? That video annoys me. I got 2 dislikes for that. For like me saying, oh yeah, I don't like the lines in the suit. Piss off. But seeing it in action, it's not as dark as it was in the screenshot. And seeing that in the movie, they don't explain what the fucking mystical orb was. It's just fucking there. It just like walks past it like, it was just funny. And yeah, this is just like quick before going into things. I feel like this is a movie all ages could kind of enjoy, but I feel like I enjoyed it a lot. I loved all the characters. Guy Gardner was great. Hawk Girl doesn't really have much of a character. She's there, you get her. What can you do? I really liked Mr. Terrific, I gotta be honest. And I think I saw some complaints before the movie came out being like, they don't use Lois enough. She is in it a fair bit. Like, of course, she's not the main focus half the time, but because it is about Clark, it's his movie. But she's there a fair bit, if you're missing on that. They have, like, some tension between their relationship, but it all works out in the end. He picks himself back up. And, so, yeah. I threw out the paper that said, I heart Daddy Zaki. What can you do? Did I think this is better than Man of Steel? Yeah, a little bit. I think the way it delves into like the social media aspects is a lot more interesting of an effect of how we would react to Superman. Like a little bit of new info comes out, which is pretty damning. I'm shocked how much, I guess, spoilers wasn't in any of the trailers. They use the message sent from his parents, Zor-El, and that. And out of the movie, I guess my recent reaction after watching the movie is that pretty good. I give it an 8 out of 10. nothing real else to say. I tried to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. And the next section is going to be my spoiler thoughts of the movie. But this is my spoiler-free thing. You know, I have something covered my face. I'll be fine. Yeah, spoiler-free. I'm shaking my head. Good. It's good. Watch it, because I kind of want to see where this goes, because they're taking me interesting places, but I'll talk about that later on. Bye.
Okay, so this is kind of just going to be a more laid back and kind of like less edited thing. I'm going to show like the trailer stuff, but this is just a discussion, my spoiler thoughts on Superman. And I think I'd like to start the story of the thing. And you know, it's kind of like basic in a way, like deceivingly basic, the general plot of the story. Like from the trailers, you see it and it's just like, the basic plot is just Lex hates Superman. And I gotta be honest, I'm really glad it's just that. Like, just that is the entire driving force of like everything that happens. Lex Luthor just fucking hates this guy. And that's what I want from Lex. That's my Lex. Also, surprisingly, that whole Barovia and I forgot the other country's name, was like started with a G. But the whole conflict between those two countries plays into it like a lot more than I would have thought from like the small clips you see in the trailer. Like, you see the president of Barovia like reacting to stuff, and he's working with Lex. Also, I don't know if I should bring this up here. It's a very touchy subject, and I don't mean to get political, but the entire premise of kind of like a billionaire from America secretly funding a country in like the Middle East area, you know, trying to invade and kill people from a neighboring country. It is strikingly close to real events at the moment. Shocking. But yeah, that was a lot more than expected. I feel like there was also a whole plot about, you know, kind of the nature versus nurture aspect. You know, they kind of bring this a little bit up, and like, it's what I was talking about with the, you know, Jor-El and the wife talking to Clark, because, you know, they have a message, and it's them saying like, oh yeah, you're meant to... So like, at first he sees their message, right, and it's just them saying like half of it. It's half of it because the other half is destroyed. It's just them saying, you know what, Clark, you're good. You be good for them. And then eventually Lex breaks in, like in the trailer, and then you get to see the other half of the message, and it is just like, be sure to rule without mercy. I feel like that it affects the story a lot. But the aspect of I don't know, I feel like there's a lack of proper, I guess, focus on the turmoil Clark has of, you know, his whole life basically being like a semi-lie. And they do it with the scene where he goes back to his parents, and I thought that was really good. I just kind of wanted maybe a little bit more of that, a little bit more, I guess, from him specifically, because I guess he does get sidetracked really quickly with Crypto getting taken away right after, which was, yeah, that was cool. And then the entire ending being against Barovia and the country, and you know, the fucking rift, black hole opening up in Metropolis because of Lex. Really interesting superhero dynamic. Like a, definitely, like, you know, generic, oh, destroying a Metropolis, it happened in Man of Steel. But that conflict between those two different parts of Lex's plan, like contradicting, having been stopped at the same time, really good. And I loved the final confrontation between Clark and Lex. That was really fun. You know, and I can really just say it feels like just classic, like a comic book storyline brought to like theaters, I guess, you know? It certainly, you know, holds with one of those things where it's like, it's not based on any one specific comic. It's basically just using the character for its own comic book story. And I like that. That way there's no butchering, you know, no one's butchering any of these, like, characters or whatever, like they say. It's literally just, it's like a movie comic book. You know, just making a comic book of a movie, and I really like that about this movie. Everything's fun, everything's vibrant, it's all lovely. A few of the jokes in the movie, because I know they're probably going to be contested a lot, you know, some of them don't really hit for me specifically. I think a lot of the stuff with, like, Crypto sometimes kind of just felt like, okay, wrap it up. There was one joke with Mr. Terrific that didn't really land. It was kind of just him and Lois going to a garage to get Mr. Terrific's ship so that they can go and rescue Superman from Lex's pocket dimension, which is also a really interesting part of the movie. It all flows. So much stuff happens and they all come together in a very good way. That happens, and then, you know, the garage is opening and it's really slow. Or like the Justice Gang's house, and it's all really slow, and it's just like one of those, you can't get a better door or whatever. That didn't hit. You know, some of the stuff didn't hit as much as I think it should, but also there was some stuff that I kind of found hilarious. Like, stuff that I really liked, specifically Guy Gardner, that one scene of him, like, just before this one, where he's talking to Lois, is like, oh, you don't know about the hypno glasses, do you? And then she's like, you probably shouldn't be telling me if you don't. And it's like, oh no, if you know about that, you know he's Clark Kent, right? Just like, giving it all this private information away to someone he doesn't even know. To someone he doesn't know that knows he's Superman. It is hilarious. And there's also this one scene at the end, it was in the trailer, it's when fucking Mr. Terrific, it's in the final fight, and he's just like, you brought that dog, man! You brought that dog, man! You brought that dog, man! I was cracking up. Just the way he said, you brought that dog, man! Fucking fun. I also love his stupid fucking shit. I love his stupid shit, that's so good. Mr. Terrific's really great. I loved a lot of the characters, you know. I feel like some people kind of like don't do anything. Like the engineer and shit, she didn't do much, but she was still like enjoyable. I loved how she worked and her power sets and how she used that against Superman and such. And that break-in scene to the, you know, Fortress of Solitude, that was really good. Metamorpho was used to, you know, I'd say pretty well in my opinion. I love how he's like in the prison already because Lex obviously would have captured him to make kryptonite. Which I like how they explain, it's like, oh yeah, there's apparently none on Earth. And Lex doesn't like have any out of nowhere. He has to get Metamorpho to make kryptonite. And I thought, oh wow, that's actually a really, you know, interesting way, and like it's beats that whole thing in like the comics where like, oh, everyone has kryptonite. It's like, no, he actually has to use this guy who can turn himself into anything to get it. I thought Baby Joey looked stupid as fuck and was fucking hilarious whenever he was on screen, and I think that may have been the point. Stupid fucking baby. Yeah, but that one scene where he's falling into the black hole on one thing, I really love that. And he's using the ice breast to get out. Epic. It's all epic. You know the Justice Gang? Most of them are in it, like, enough. It's mainly... There's 3 of them in it, and they mainly focus on Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific. Hawkgirl doesn't get much, but she does. She slimes the president of Barovia, and I'm like, and you're like, what? Like, she just straight up slimed him, like, out of Like, I know he was a dick, but she slimed him, and I was just shocked. And I was like, oh yeah, only Superman kills people. Yeah. Yeah, no, they do a lot of killing, I gotta be honest. Like, they kill the big-ass kaiju, which that sequence was pretty good. I love how he minimized the damages, you know, and I loved... Yeah. And another character I thought was really interesting is Ultraman, who turns out to be a clone of Clark Kent, which is, like, foreshadowed by him being... I mean, just the name Ultraman itself, just, I guess, you know, makes you think that... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. You know, it's a clone of Superman made by Lex, and I like just the name Ultraman. You know, instead of being Superman, he's Ultra because he's better, and he has longer hair because he was made of hair. That's not the reason, I just thought it was funny. But yes, he is a clone, and I know there was some drama about, like, oh, them removing a scene of him hitting Crypto, and, I honestly don't care, because I don't care about that scene being removed, mainly because I wanted to see him fight Superman, not Crypto, and he fought Superman really well. And I love how Lex basically made him brain dead, so he's controlling him from the sidelines, and he's just having a blast doing it. Before I move on to Lex, Hammer of Barovia, which I thought was probably one of the best designed. Like, I loved the design for the Hammer of Barovia so much. Just for it to be a costume for Ultraman to wear, so Lex can psych out Superman. And I'm like, ah, that is such a good design, wasted. Wah. Lex is a fucking D1 hater in this movie. And it is just so on brand. That scene, he goes into the Fortress of Solitude, and it's in the trailer. It's just like, Superman isn't a man. It's an it. It is amazing. And I love that in that final confrontation, Superman goes up to Lex, and Lex admits, like, yeah, I am full of envy. I am full of jealousy towards you. And he just lets it all out, like, all of his reasoning for hating this person who only does good because it breaks his fragile little ego. Yeah. And I think they're definitely going to rename it from Luthor Corp to LexCorp, because they showed, like, the sign of that getting split open in the destruction of Metropolis. And I think he's definitely going to change it later on. But Nicholas Hoult, great job. Speaking of great jobs, David Cornsweet Superman. Amazing. I loved it. He is just so giddy, and he is a joy to watch. A genuine joy to watch on screen. And everything he does, I loved it. I loved all of it. And, you know, I think I said this before in the spoiler-free, people were saying that Lois Lane isn't in it enough, I guess. I thought she was in it a pretty decent amount for how, you know, for how much should have focused on her, I think. I feel like they had just enough. Some parts with her felt like over-explanatory just to get things over with and stuff, to have drama for the sake of drama. But it's like without Superman, so you can't even have that drama, in a way. Sorry, I'm just moving. Yeah, you can't even, like, have that drama specifically. And maybe in some parts, like, the relationship-wise, she was underused. But yeah. But I think she was in the movie a pretty decent, a lot more than I expected from what I heard. Same with, like, a couple other Daily Bugle people. I love Jimmy Olsen. Just, like, a joy, swell guy, and his entire thing basically having, like, a hookup with Lex's girlfriend is crazy. Also, that joke of Lex just throwing his exes in a fucking prison in his pocket dimension? Like, who does that? No one else but a stereotypical evil fucking scientist would, and that is just so so funny. So funny. Oh, I love this. I loved everything about this. Again, my reviews say strong, 8 out of 10. because there are some things I don't like, and I do think some parts of it don't, go on as much as I thought it would. And, some jokes don't land, and I guess, it has its meanings, but isn't really, like, fully, I don't know how to say this, fully direct, like, in other ways. But I gotta be honest, I don't want to focus on the negatives of this movie. Kinda just because I feel like this is the movie I needed right now. Just something I've been excited for, and I watch it, and I really just like it. I like it, it's everything I hoped it would be, a little bit more even. It is just a joy to watch. Except for that one scene when that poor fucking, like, shawarma vendor gets point blank executed by Lex Luthor. Like, I'm not even joking, like, they show that on screen. Like, there's no blood, obviously, but they show a man getting fucking gunned down by Lex. I was shocked. Because I did not expect that out of this movie. And there is a lot of, like, heavy... I mean, I don't know about a lot, but there's just, like, maybe, like, that thing specifically just stuck out to me. And I was like, damn, that was in this. Crazy. Like, the tonal shifts of the movie just had me more shocked than, like, the plot points, I guess. But yeah, please, like, I know I probably should have said this in a spoiler-free review. I guess this hasn't been much of, like, a review, more of my thoughts. I haven't been, like, reviewing anything. I don't know, but I just needed to talk about it. I want to make a video about it, get some free views, who cares, but this movie was so fun. It was super, man. Literally. Please, I would recommend you to go watch this. It is just like a joy. It's a joy to watch. It's a blast. And I feel like 75% of people maybe will get an above 6 out of 10 experience. Like 7 to 10 experience from this. And the rest of the people, your opinions are still valid. But I feel like if you're thinking about, risking seeing a movie this summer, and like Fantastic Four hasn't come out, I don't know how confident I am in that. I'm excited for it. I don't know how confident I am. But I have confidence in this now that I've seen it. Be hopeful for this movie and give it a chance. Anyways, bye. Restore the liquid cut. I would love to make a DC movie for James Gunn one day. That would be a dream come true. Bye.